Hand sewing a buttonhole. Things you will need: needle and thread, fabric, ruler, tailor's chalk or pencil, ruler, and a cutting tool or a scissors. Step 1. Mark position. Prepare your fabric and measure and mark your buttonhole position. This means using the actual button to mark the distance. The fabric should be at least double. For the formula, buttonhole length equals length of the button plus depth of the button plus 1/8 extra. Step 2. Outline stitch. Choose a contrasting thread to run a row of small running stitches around the edge of the buttonhole before you cut. This is especially important on thick fabrics for coats and jackets, and very thin slippery fabrics on blouses. It helps to secure the fabric and keep the multiple layers together. Step 3. Cutting. Cut your buttonhole. Step 4. Buttonhole stitch. Now, start stitching using your buttonhole stitch. Always practice a few times to get the stitches correct. In this case, I thread the needle into the fabric and then I get the thread under the upper part of the needle and then under the lower part of the needle. Hand sewing a 4-holes button. Materials needed: a 4-hole button, needle and thread, a cutting tool or scissors, and ruler optional. Thread your needle and tie a knot at the end. The length of your thread will vary on the size of your button, but about 12 to 15 inches should be enough. Hold the button down where you want on the fabric. While holding the button in place, push the thread needle up through the fabric and back of one of the holes in your button. Pull lightly until your knot or excess thread reaches the back of the fabric. Repeat the process of pushing the thread needle up through the first hole and down to the second, and then up to the third hole and down to the fourth. Repeat at least 2 more times and then determine if it's strong enough to move to the final stage. If you want some extra strength and space between the button and fabric, you can wrap the thread around the thread pieces that are under the button but above the fabric. To finish, instead of going up through the hole as done previously, run the thread needle horizontally through the back set of thread stitches 2 to 3 times in different directions to tighten. Cut the thread with enough excess to tie and then take the 2 strands and knot them together. Cut off the remaining extra thread.